This is full-on Banana Republic nonsense. How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about former President Donald Trump being indicted by Joe Biden's Department of Justice on charges relating to the so-called classified document scandal and subsequent FBI raid that took place in August of 2022 at his Mar-a-Lago home in Florida. Now, there's a lot to quote unquote unpack here, as the cool kids say. We got to talk about why this is happening to Trump and not to Joe Biden. Although Joe Biden had his own classified documents all over the place, right next to his Corvette in an unsecured garage, at the abandoned office near Penn Station, at his home in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, all over the place. But there's no charges there. There's an investigation been going on forever, but no charges. Then we got to talk about the alleged $5 million payment from the executive over at Burisma Holdings, the Ukrainian energy company. And this is part of an alleged bribery scheme that involved his crackhead son being on the board of Burisma with no experience in energy at all, getting paid between $50,000 and $80,000 per month to sit on the board. Let's get through all that. But first things first, let's go back to August 2022. This infamous picture hit the internet, went viral. What you're seeing right now are the classified documents that the federales retrieved from Mar-a-Lago, okay? What you see right here on the right-hand side is a Time magazine cover in the frame. That's right. They seized a Time magazine cover. Now, here's what happened, just to be clear. Trump took documents from the White House with him after his term was over. You can do this. They all can do this. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, George Bush, Slit Willie, doesn't matter who you are, you have the right as president to do this. If anything's classified, you can unclassify it. That's your right, okay? And the government knew that Trump had these documents because he was communicating with them. They knew they were at Mar-a-Lago. They asked him, hey, okay, put him in a secure location and put a lock on the door. He complied with their request. Now, here is where things get murky. Here's where he got indicted. The National Archive came back after this and said, hey, we need some of those documents back. And Trump's like, no, because I'm the former president. I have that right. This is the law. I'm going to follow the law. So you guys cannot have them. Now, this sparked the FBI raid where they physically went and took the documents. It wasn't a search because they knew where they were, because he told them where they were. You know, he said, okay, they're in this room. There's a lock on it as you guys requested. So they went right to that same room where they knew they were at. They knew it was a lock on it, and then they took it. And they took everything, including the Time magazine cover, because I guess that came from the White House as well. Right now, Trump is being charged as it relates to this right here, a thing that the federales knew about, and he told them about. And the reason why he's being charged again is because the National Archive said you cannot have these documents anymore. Okay, that is the whole situation, right? And again, Biden has his own documents probe going on, but there's no charges there, and it's pretty cut and dry. If you're not going to charge him and you're just letting it prolong, why are you charging Trump, especially right now when you're talking about a political adversary? Let's be totally clear here. Biden is trying to run for president right now, and so is Donald Trump, and they're both really the front runner. There's nobody on the left running against Joe Biden. There won't be any primary debates on the Democratic side. They're going to run Joe Biden again. Yes, he's 1,000 years old. Yes, he's pretty much done right now. Doesn't really matter. He is Democratic Party's front runner, as is Trump. This is an obvious way for the Democrats, for Joe Biden, for his team to attack the opposing side's front runner so they can win again in 2024. It's clear what's going on. That's why it's happening. Let's keep on going. We got quite a bit to get through. All right. This is the article right here about the $5 million payment to Joe Biden. Okay. Where's any kind of energy on that? Where's the indictment on that? I don't see anything. Now, let's get to the actual indictment and see what's going on. I think the indictment is still sealed, but we can kind of get a little bit of information about what's happening. You see this little paragraph right here. I won't read the entire article, but I will place all my info in the description box so you can see what's happening. A 7-count indictment has been filed in federal court naming the former president as a criminal defendant, according to people familiar with the matter who spoke on the condition of anonymity to describe a case that is yet to be unsealed. The charges include willful retention of national defense secrets, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy, which carry the potential years in prison if Trump is found guilty. Okay, so that is a general idea of what's going on. And again, it all goes back to the so-called classified documents and to the National Archive not being able to get them when they requested them. That's all it's about. All right. Now, of course, Trump responded. I'm going to go to part 1, then part 2. He says a corrupt Biden administration has informed my attorneys that I have been indicted, seemingly over the Bogus hoax, although Joe Biden has 1,850 boxes at the University of Delaware, additional boxes at Chinatown, D.C., with even more boxes at the University of Pennsylvania, and documents strewn all over his garage floor where he parks his Corvette, which is quote-unquote secure only by a garage door that's paper thin and open much of the time, which is 100% correct. We saw a video of this. I think Joe Biden was doing some kind of promo for something, and he was in that Corvette and showed the garage, and the papers are right there in the video. It was not secure at all. If anybody wanted to break in there and take them, they could do it. But again, we're not having any kind of talk about that right now. But anyway, he continues. I've been summoned to appear at the federal courthouse in Miami on Tuesday at 3 p.m. I never thought it possible that such a thing could happen to a former president of the United States who received far more votes than any sitting president in the history of our country and is currently leading by far all candidates, both Democrat and Republican, in polls of the 2024 presidential election. I am an innocent man. What he's saying is 100% correct. He is a front runner, and he does have a higher rating than Joe Biden does right now. So this is a clear attack on him. Okay. And you know what? I have a little bit more evidence to prove what I'm saying here. Can we get to Mitt Romney's statement, shall we? Now, let me get that in a different window. Y'all give me a second. Here we go. So this is what Mitt Romney said, a so-called GOP or a so-called Republican, right? If Rhino was a human being, it'd be a guy like Mitt Romney. Let's continue. Like all Americans, Mr. Trump is entitled to the presumption of innocence. The government has the burden of proving its charges beyond a reasonable doubt and securing a unanimous verdict by a South Florida jury. By all appearances, the Justice Department and special counsel have exercised due care, affording Mr. Trump the time and opportunity to avoid charges that would not generally have been afforded to others. Mr. Trump brought these charges upon himself by not only taking classified documents, but refusing to simply return them when given numerous opportunities to do so. That goes back to the National Archive requesting documents back. But again, the law, I believe, is on Trump's side because all presidents have the right to take documents, declassify them, and keep them. And there's no requirement to return them back to the National Archive. Anyway, these allegations are serious and, if proven, would be consistent with his other actions offensive to the national interest, such as withholding defensive weapons from Ukraine. Yes, he said Ukraine. Yes, Mitt Romney mentioned Ukraine when it comes to the Trump indictment over the classified documents, the Bogus hoax, okay? For political reasons and failing to defend the Capitol from the violent attack and insurrection. So we managed to get J6 in there and also Ukraine. So if it ain't political, I can't tell. I cannot tell. Now, we have another video that shows more of the political nature. This is Rachel Maddow, and I forget the other guy's name. Y'all know who he is. That's the stop the hammering. That's him right there. But she said the quiet part out loud, and I think that really wraps up what this is all about. Let's go ahead and check it out.
You have to wonder if the Justice Department is considering whether there is some political solution to this criminal problem, whether part of the issue here is not just that Trump has committed crimes, but that Trump has committed crimes and plans on being back in the White House. do they consider as part of a potential plea offer, something that would proscribe him from running for office again? I don't know.
I would imagine if anything like that happened, that it would have to come from the defense side of the negotiation, that the Trump team would say, oh, by the way, and with this, we will also, drop out of the race for president. Otherwise, it would put the Justice Department in this position that Donald Trump claims they're in. He claims they're simply trying to stop him from becoming president again. And that's the only reason they're doing this. So my guess, given those dynamics and the change, I think, in the way the Justice Department sees this in those 50 years since Spiro Agnew, it just seems unlikely that they would reach into the political zone of the solution. Our politics does have to find a solution to this, but it might have to find that solution separate and apart from the criminal process.
They're saying it right there. Rachel Maddow just told you what the objective is. She wants Trump to plea, and as part of the plea, he'll say, I'm not going to run, which is exactly what he was trying to say. It's a political thing. They're attacking me. They know I'm the front runner. They want me out of the way to not run, to not become president again. So they're trying to tie me up in legal problems, litigation, all kind of stuff. That's what's going on. Rachel Maddow just said it right there for the whole world to hear, straight from the proverbial horse's mouth. But as I close, I want to say this. This is a ridiculous thing. Banana Republic, late stage Republic, failing Republic nonsense. You are indicting Trump on the thing that other presidents have done, and it's not really your problem. And, the first, the thing that really sparked all these indictments and indictment rumors, because he could be another one down there in Georgia as it relates to election interference back in 2020. The thing that started everything was Stormy Daniels, New York City, Alvin Bragg. That was precedent right there. It wasn't even really about trying to get him found liable, guilty, or whatever the case may be. It's about, okay, we indicted him. We fingerprinted him. We gave him a mugshot or whatever the case. So we did that. You guys can do it as well. Other presidents could do whatever they want. You want to be a war criminal. You want to siphon money. You want to engage in just straight corruption. Do the absolute wrong and illegal thing. We're not going to indict you. It's all good. You're the president. Slap on the wrist at best. Slap on the wrist at best. But when it comes to Trump, okay, we got to up the ante. We can't have this man in office anymore. What are we going to do? Okay, Alvin Bragg, you be the first one to indict him. Then we're going to have the federales, which is the first time ever a president has been indicted by the federal court. We're going to have the federales indict him after you indict him. Then we're going to have other courts around the country indict him. We're going to tie him up in litigation. So even if he doesn't get found guilty or liable or whatever the case, he'll be drained of resources and he'll be drained of time. He won't be able to campaign. That is the objective from my point of view. If you think differently, let me know in the comments below, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? How do you feel about what's happening here? Do you think this is a legitimate indictment from the federal district court out there in Miami, Florida, from Joe Biden's Department of Justice, the DOJ? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. This is an illegitimate indictment. This is not a thing that is illegal. Presidents can do this lawfully. Other presidents have. Joe Biden has. There won't be any charges against Joe Biden as there were not against Barack Obama, George H.W., Slit Willie, nothing. You can't even really be a Speaker of the House or a regular Congress person and get charged for things like this. This is purely political, and that video from Rachel Maddow on MS-13 DNC, that was a quiet part out loud, 100%. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.